Good morning, everybody. We will wait for 2 minutes for the others to join. Okay, Miss, let's start taking attendance. Waiting for the others. I will allow you all to unmute yourselves. Please unmute yourselves so that when I ask you if you're present, to say yes quickly. Hamad Bawab. Hamad Bawab. Reem Safiyaddin.
Present.
Maya.
Present.
Selena Bawab.
Present.
Noura. Noura. Lamar.
Present.
Adam Hajaji.
Present.
Michael.
Present.
Dalal. Hassan Sroor. علي ناصر الدين.
Present.
حسن وطفة. كرم.
Present.
آدم أرعونة.
Present.
آدم حايك.
Present.
جود. ليا دايخ. عدنان. عدنان. كارلو.
Present.
حلا. ساري. زينب بستانة. زينب عاصي. زهراء جابر. آية.
Present.
What's wrong with the others?
Miss, I entered now.
Adnan, you entered?
Yes. Sorry, I came late.
No, we have just...
My internet was very bad.
It's okay. So did anyone join now? Yes,
did.
please. Sari?
Yeah.
Okay. Anybody else? Okay. Let's start. So today it's the last lecture for this week. And we are going today to start with the last part of the lesson. As I told you, the lesson is divided into different parts. First of all, let's just recall everything we have explained, and then we'll continue. We have started with the definition of adjectives and what are adjectives. We said that adjectives are words that describe nouns or pronouns, and they give us more information about nouns and pronouns. We also said that these adjectives have many kinds, in which they first describe the size of people or things. So the first kind of adjectives is the adjectives of size, in which these adjectives describe the size of people and the size of things. Then we move to the second kind of adjectives, which is the adjectives of color, in which these adjectives are the colors themselves and they describe the color of something. Then we move to the third kind of adjectives, which is the adjectives of quality. And we said that this kind of adjectives tell us what is the state of something, or how is something of, or the kind of something, or the type of something. So the adjectives of quality describe the noun in details, as we said. Now we move to the fourth kind of adjectives, which is the adjectives of substance. These adjectives tell us what things are made of. What do we mean by that? We mean that these adjectives tell us that this object is made of plastic, for example. This object is made of glass. This object is made of gold. This object is made of silk, and so on. This dress is made of cotton, and so on. So the adjectives of substance tell us what things are made of. The last kind of adjectives, which you have already explained, is the adjectives of origin. The adjectives of origin tell us the origin of something. And for example, where is this thing from? Usually these adjectives are based on proper nouns of place. Proper nouns of place, it means names of places, cities, countries, and so on. So these adjectives, as we said, are called the adjectives of origin, and they are usually written capitalized, and because they are always written as names of countries. Then we move to the order of adjectives, and we said that when you are using two or more adjectives to describe someone or something, you have to follow a certain order in adjectives. And we said that you should follow the size, the quality, the color, the origin, the substance. And we had many examples concerning these. We also solved an exercise about the kinds of adjectives. Now we move to how to form adjectives. We talked about this yesterday, and we said that, or the day before, and we said that to form adjectives, we should add something called suffixes to the verbs in order to add them to these adjectives at the end of the word, يعني, in order to form an adjective. We also solved an exercise concerning forming adjectives. Now we move Can you hear me, miss?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Now we move to the last part. Yesterday I asked you, or the day before, I asked you to read these slides or at least have a look at them. Did you do that?
Yes.
Okay. So we are going to start with the comparison of adjectives. When we say comparison of adjectives, it means I'm using adjectives to compare. Okay? I'm using adjectives to compare. There are two parts of comparison of adjectives. The first part is the comparative adjective, and the second part is the superlative adjective. When I say comparative adjectives, it means I'm using these adjectives to compare two people or two things or two places. Only two, يعني concentrate on two. So, in order to compare two people, two places, or two things, we use the comparative form of adjectives. The comparative form is usually formed or made by adding er to the adjective. What do I mean by adding er? It means you add er to the adjective. Yani dark, darker, hard, harder, light, lighter, warm, warmer, high, higher, cold, colder, low, lower, fast, faster, old, older, slow, slower, young, younger, rich, richer. Okay, so these are examples, not more. So by adding er to the adjective. How do we use the comparative form in a sentence? Let's look at the pink box, the note, and see. When I say, for example, Mr. Lee is taller than Philippe, whom am I comparing here? Whom am I comparing?
You are comparing Mr. Lee and Philip.
Mr. Lee and Philip. It means I'm comparing two people. Okay, type. If you look at the form of the comparative adjective, did I just say Mr. Lee taller Philippe?
No.
No,
No.
Taller than.
is taller than.
Taller.
So whenever you use the comparative form comparing two people or two places or two things, you have to use than in order to have a complete adjective. A car is faster than a bike. What am I comparing here? Is my question very difficult?
Miss
Car
Blue,
and a
the
bike.
sound is lagging. I couldn't hear.
What am I comparing here?
A car and a bike.
A car and a bike, very good. So I'm saying that the car is faster than a bike, okay? So this is how we use it, and this is how we use the comparative adjectives. The point is not just adding ER, the point is to know how to use it and how to compare two people or two things or two places, okay? Is it clear?
Yes.
So I repeat briefly, the comparison of adjectives is divided into two parts, as we said. The comparative form, which is used to compare two people or two things or two places, and we add ER to the adjective in order to change that to the comparative form or to form a comparative adjective. Now we move to the superlative form. The superlative form is used to compare three or more people or things. What do I mean by that? I mean we use it to compare three or more, not only two, to compare three or more people, places, or things. The superlative form is usually made by adding est to the adjective. What do I mean by adding est? I mean dark, for example, becomes darkest, warm, warmest, light, lightest, cold, coldest, high, highest, fast, fastest, low, lowest, slow, slowest, old, oldest, young, youngest, rich, richest. Here, I'm comparing I'm comparing three or more people or things or places. Let's look at the pink box at the note. A bee is a small insect. A ladybird is smaller, يعني is smaller than a bee. But an ant is the smallest. So here I'm comparing three insects, the bee, the ant, and the ladybird, right?
Yes.
So when I was comparing the bee and the ladybird, I used the comparative form because I'm comparing two insects. When I was comparing the ant, I used the superlative form because I'm comparing it to two other insects, يعني three or more. Okay, يعني for example, Ali is the tallest one in class. So I'm comparing Ali to all the class. Okay? Any
Okay.
questions?
No.
Okay. And I'm sorry if my voice is low, but I have a flu, that's why. Okay, let's continue now with the spelling rules. There are some spelling rules used in order to form the adjectives and how to use these spelling rules to form adjectives. First of all, the first spelling rule is about the adjectives that end in E. You know, some adjectives end in E like nice, close, large, rude, safe, wide. These adjectives end in E. For these adjectives that end in E, all you have to do if you want to add ER to just add R. And if you are changing it to the superlative form, all you have to do is to add ST. So nicer, nicest. Close, closer. As you can see, we just added R, we just added ST. This is concerning the adjectives that already end with E. Now we move to the adjectives that are a short word, a very short word, one syllable word, and they end is in a consonant and has a single vowel in the middle. They have one vowel in the middle. In this case, we have to double the last consonant and then add ER or EST. like sad, sadder, saddest. So I doubled the consonant. Wet, wetter, wettest. Slim, slimmer, slimmest. Thin, thinner, thinnest. Big, bigger, biggest. Okay. Now we move to the adjectives that have two syllables. What do I mean by two syllables? When I say a syllable, it means a noun. When I say a syllable, it means a noun. Okay, sorry, it means a sound. When I say a syllable, it means a sound. يعني how many sounds is the word? Like E, Z, two sounds. Fa, ni, two parts. Der, ti, noisy. Ha, pi, no, ti. I have two sounds in the word. Okay? And the other row, as you can see, heavy, lovely, pretty, tidy, friendly, tiny. So these words have two syllables and they end in Y. So for the adjectives that have two syllables and end with Y, to change these adjectives, the comparative and superlative form, we have to cross the I and then, cross the Y, replace it with I, and then add ER or EST. As you can see in the example, for example, funny, as you can see, we dropped the I, we add the Y, we added I, and then ER or EST. Okay, so this is how we change the adjectives that have two syllables and end with Y into the comparative and superlative form. Clear?
Yes,
Yes.
clear.
Okay. Now we move to the adjectives that have two syllables. وأكيد they do not end with Y. Okay? Two syllables, but they do not end with Y. Like famous, precious, handsome, exciting, beautiful. Some of them have more than two syllables. Expensive, three syllables. Comfortable, three syllables. Delicious. Interesting, four syllables. Difficult, three syllables. These words which have two or more syllables and do not end with Y, when you want to change them to the comparative or superlative form, we use more and most. How? It means, Anna, when I'm comparing two things and I want to use the comparative form, I add more to the adjective. And if I'm using the superlative form, I add the most. How? If I said this bag, or if I said the red bag is more expensive than the yellow one. If I said the red bag is the most expensive bag in the shop. So in this case, I gave you an example. I used the base for the both forms, the comparative and the superlative form. Okay? Any questions?
No.
Oh,
Now we move to the last part, which is the irregular comparative and superlative forms. These adjectives should be memorized. Why? Because these adjectives are adjectives that are not changed into the comparative and superlative form by adding ER or EST or by adding the more or the most. These adjectives are changed completely. Okay? يعني you do not say, for example, good, gooder, goodest. I say good, better, best. I say bad, worse, worst. I say little, less, least. I said many, more, most. I say far, farther or further, farthest or furthest. These adjectives change completely when we are using them in the comparative or superlative form. And that's it. Let's read the example. My painting is good, Melanie's painting is better, and Andrew's painting is the best. So I was comparing my painting to Melanie's painting and I said it is better. But when I compared Andrew's painting to all of these, I find that Andrew's painting is the best. Okay? As I told you, these should be memorized. Clear till now?
Yes.
We have an exercise here. I want you to start solving it. You have to change the adjectives into the comparative and superlative form. Please, before you start, read the whole sentence and then write your answer, because it won't be clear if you have to use the comparative or superlative unless you read the sentence. Yalla, go ahead. Are you ready, miss? Finished?
Yes.
Yes.
Yalla, who will start?
Me.
يلا يا علي. علي then Aya.
Paul likes playing football. He's a very good player. But his friend Sally is a better player. She's the
Thank you.
best.
Very good. Thank you. Yes, Aya.
She's the best
Yes.
player in the whole school.
Very
She
good.
is
Thank you. Very good.
Can I try to do the next one?
Yes, please.
She is faster and stronger than all the boys.
Very good. Continue.
Okay. Even the
Sorry,
boys who
the
are
internet.
older and bigger than her.
Okay. Zainab Asif.
Both things, all games are exciting, but football is the best game.
Yes, very good. Who will do the next? Yalla, miss, who will do the next?
Miss, I want to read the sentence because the internet went off and I left the meeting. Now I came back.
Okay, yalla, can you do it, Adnan?
Yes.
Yeah.
All things, all games are exciting, but football is the
The most exciting game. Type somebody else, please.
Miss Canada?
Miss, it's the noisiest. Sorry, I was muted.
Okay, when the grass is wet, Adam, Hajaji, yalla ya miss. Yes, Adam. Reem. Yes, Reem.
When the grass is wet, everyone gets dirty when they play football, but Sally gets dirtier and wetter than everyone else.
Excellent, Miss. Excellent. Very good. Okay, guys, so this was everything for today. The lecture is over. I'll see you on Monday with a new lecture, inshallah. And thank you all for attending.
Bye.
Bye, Miss. Bye.
Bye, Miss.